Hey Choppers, we got a double preview for you today for Kill Your Friends and Splat-A-Tat. Now they're both essentially the same game as you'll see, but Kill Your Friends is the R version and Splat-A-Tat is the PG version. So we're going to go over Kill Your Friends. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment on how we're doing here at Logan Chops Reviews. Let's hit it, bub! Welcome to our preview of Kill Your Friends and Splat-A-Tat. Now, both of these games are essentially the same, except for Kill Your Friends is the R-rated version, where Splat-A-Tat is more of a PG version. So, everything is basically the same, how the game plays and everything. So, just the cards that are different. So, instead of taking a look at both games, we're just going to go for the R-rated version, Kill Your Friends, instead of Splat-A-Tat, because honestly, who wants to watch the PG version when you can cover the R version, right? Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of this one, and we're gonna focus on Kill Your Friends. Now, the way you win at Kill Your Friends is one of three ways. You can either be the last player remaining in the game, you can be the first player to have no cards remaining in your hand, kind of like an Uno, or you can be the first player to have only kill cards of your color remaining in your hand on your turn. Now, you get a certain amount of actions per turn, but for that win condition, it has to be the only action you take on the turn. So you can't play one of your cards and then go, oh, look, my hand only has my color in it. So let's go ahead and get rid of this box here and go ahead and take a look at the cards in the game. Now, at the beginning of the game, everybody assumes one of four identities. There's Carol, who's green, there's Andre, who's red, there's Trevor, who's blue, and there's Eric, who's yellow. And they take both cards for their character and put them down on the table. Now, these are double-sided. They've got the regular side here, which is what you start on, and then they've also got the dead side on the other one. And whenever you eliminate a player, they will turn their cards over. If both cards get turned over, then they are dead. Now, those cards start out in front of a player. So let's go ahead and let's just put Carol's cards out here right now, for example. Carol. All right. The other cards in the deck are colored cards that correspond to the players. And these are going to be shuffled up, as well as some other cards that we'll look at. Shuffled up and dealt out to each player in the game. I think the starting hand is 7, if I remember correctly. And what you do is you get to play these kill cards on the other player during their turn, and you start off going in sequential order, so 1, 2, and 3, and it'll end up killing the person if you get to 3. Let's see, we've got Carol here. Let's say I've got some of Carol's cards in my hand, so like one turn I could play a 1, and then on a later turn, or somebody else could play a 2, and then someone else plays 3. Right there. Now, Carol will have to save herself by playing other cards to actually get these numbers down. If it becomes her turn and she can't get rid of any of these cards, on her turn, her card will flip over to the dead side. These cards will be discarded back into the discard pile for the game, and then she will have to draw 2 cards from the deck into her hand, which puts her further away from the victory condition of having no cards in her hand, but it does give her more ammo to use against the other players. Now, the cards have to be played in sequential order for 1, 2, and 3. You can't just play a 1 card like this, and then later on, or another opponent play a 3 card there. That's not allowed, but you can keep going. Let's say they had the 1 on Carol right there, have another one, somebody else has it. It can be put like that. If somebody else had another one, it can be going like that, and then later on, somebody plays a 2. So they can go there, and it does give you a little bit of chance to kind of get rid of those cards before you actually lose one of your lives. Now, the way to save yourself is on your turn, you play a kill card of your color yourself onto those cards. So let's say we got this run of 1, 1, 1, and then the 2. That 3's in the discard pile for some reason. And it's Carol's turn, or whoever, the player playing Carol. And they play a number 2 that they have, that's their color, it's green, in their hand. They play it to the stack. It gets rid of all of these cards here. They don't go into the discard. They go onto the bottom of the deck and Carol is saved from being dead for one of her lives. So on your turn, you could only do one action. I know I think I said at the beginning of the video you have various actions you can do on your turn, but actually you only have one action that you can take. You can play a kill card on an opponent. You can play a card on yourself to save yourself, as we just showed right there. Or you can play a chaos card or a Reaper card. Now, if you don't want to do any of those, you can draw a card from the top of the deck, but if there are no cards left in the deck and you don't want to play any cards for whatever reason, your turn will be skipped and it goes to the next player. Now, the Chaos cards are where the game really gets spicy and you start messing with other players. You got cards like Megadeth, which makes all other players draw 2 cards and you get to take another turn. Death from Above, which forces the next player to only draw 2 cards on their turn, and that's their whole complete turn. And then Head Swap, where you switch hands with another player, but then Head Swap never goes into a discard pile. It gets shuffled back into the deck. Now, the last card in the game is the Reaper card, and the Reaper card can be played in 3 different ways. It can be played as an insta-kill. Let's say we've got poor Carol right here who still has stuff. Let's say she's got a 1 and then another 1 and a 2 on there, and nobody has a 3. It can be played as an insta-kill, so it can be played as that 3 and instantly kill her. All these would go, she'd flip over, these would go into the discard pile, and the Reaper would get shuffled back into the deck. Or it can be used as a save. Let's say Carol played it. She's got that 1, 1, and 2 on there. Carol can play it just like she would if she would have played a 2. She could play on there to save herself. And it would automatically put these onto the bottom of the deck, and then the Reaper would get shuffled back into the deck. Or it can be played the third way to save one of your lives. Let's say poor Carol had only 1 life left. She plays the Reaper card, and it automatically brings her life back, and the Reaper would, once again, get shuffled back into the deck. It's coming to Kickstarter, so make sure you pledge on it. You can get Kill Your Friends and Splat-A-Tat. The game is pretty awesome. It's a good take-that card game. We really had fun laughing and killing each other during the game. It's a game where if you can't kill your friends in real life, at least you can kill them in the game, which is always fun, right? I'm Logan for Logan Chops Reviews. We'll see you next time. Happy gaming.